Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American brews and tunes. Shibbity beeby dow.
Welcome once again to Brews and Tunes, a show where we talk about
brews and tunes.
Yeah, brews and tunes. I'm Jesse Titus.
And I'm Steven Johnston.
Oh, man.
So last week was technically our first show, which got deleted, so we did that fun little makeshift show with Frank Turner. So this is technically...
Not with him, but we just talked
about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't actually here, unfortunately. That would be cool to have him here. Yeah. But, so last week we just talked about Frank Turner. This week is the second show that we're actually going to put up, but it'll be the first show that is going to be in the...
Like what we would normally do.
Yeah, so this will be more normal than last week, where we talk about our beers and we talk about our specific albums that we recommended for each other.
Yep. So... as we always start off the podcast with, is the key phrase,
brews
and tunes
with shibbity-boop-a-bow. That phrase evolves every time we do it.
Yep.
I remember the first time I heard it.
You actually do?
Yeah, because you sang it on one of the songs we recorded.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it meant anything, but it was just hilarious.
Was that on...
shibbity-boop-a-dow. The Yoshi song. We wrote a song about Yoshi and Mario. We'll play it for you later.
Yeah. That's
on a different podcast.
Or if you feel so inclined, you can look up Jungle Rhubarb and the Destiny Tangerine on Facebook.
Or on Spotify.
There's on Spotify?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's on Bandcamp, right?
Yeah. But enough about that. Let's go to our brews.
Yeah.
Let's get focused and whatnot.
Sounds good.
So last week I had that Terrapin Pale Ale. I decided to get a little heavier, a little darker, a little stout action going on. Something sticky on the bottom of this bottle. Our fridge is nasty, and that's where this bottle's been sitting for a while, so there's something sticky.
It was in the back.
Yeah, it was in the back. But what I have right now is an Evil Twin Brewing Liquid Double Fudge. It's an Imperial Stout.
Didn't you have that before?
I've never had this before.
Didn't you have a version of it, though?
I've never had a version of this before.
Oh.
I had one of their beers called Even More Jesus, which was a coffee stout. This is some type of fudge stout, it looks like. Evil Twin makes some really big, bold, flavored beers. Kind of like the one that we just said. There's one called the Even More Jesus, which is a coffee stout, I believe. And it's really coffee, really potent, really thick. They also have this, it was probably a triple IPA called the Molotov Cocktail.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
And that was a super intense IPA. I don't even know if I would call it an IPA. It was just really, I don't know, it was intensity in 10 cities. But what beer do you have?
I got Nebraska Brewing Company's HopAnomaly.
HopAnomaly.
I believe Nebraska Brewing Company is from Nebraska. I have no idea, though.
I would hope that they would be from Nebraska.
Maybe they just really like that name or something. It doesn't actually say on the bottle, so...
Nebraska.
It must be from Nebraska. But anyway, this is an ale aged in Chardonnay barrels. I guess it's aged in those barrels for 6 months, apparently.
Oh my!
So apparently there's citrus flavors of grapefruit, peach, and floral aromatics in the nose. So hopefully I do smell that, because I love...
I'll tell you what I got a lot of in the nose. Snot. I have some gnarly allergies going on right now, and my throat's a-phlegmin. So if you hear me doing this a lot on the podcast, that's why. Let us crack these brews.
Sounds like a good plan.
Ooh.
Oops.
Drip drop. Oh no, not on my notes. I dripped a little, but it's all right. Soaked it back up, and I am pouring the brew. Wow, this is dark.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be fudge?
Yeah, this is dark.
Double fudge thing.
This is soulless, like Satan.
Soulless.
Wow, it didn't start out very heady, but as it kind of sits here, it's kind of growing a nice little, really dark head, kind of like cocoa puff looking.
It definitely looks like like a brownie.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a brownie.
When when it's the inside of the brownie is like really dark, like the body of the beer, but then like the top dries out. And
yeah,
it's like
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
So fudge brownie or fudge beer, you decide. And when I say you decide, I mean I'll decide.
I'm gonna crack this baby open.
Smells like chocolate.
That sounded great.
Oh my Lanta. Whoa. This is so chocolatey. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Oh, it literally tastes like liquid fudge.
Really?
And I do mean like liquid fudge actually, so yes.
Wow.
I mean, it's definitely got that like the roasty stout flavor, but there's so much chocolate going on. Whoa. Here, just take a small sipski of this and see what you think.
It definitely smells like chocolate.
Well, it definitely tastes like chocolate too.
Yep.
It's like I'm drinking.
That tastes really heavy.
It's very heavy.
What's the alcohol content on that?
I think 12%. It doesn't taste like super boozy like some of the big ones, but you can tell it's heavy.
It kind of does though. It definitely tastes boozy.
I'm just getting more like I'm drinking straight liquid fudge from an ice cream parlor.
Oh, or like it's like you're eating liquidized fudge batter, like brownie batter.
Yeah. Just put it in the fridge.
That's kind of what it is, yeah.
Or if you go to Dairy Queen and get their brownie batter blizzard, it's like without the chunks of brownie. Well, no, if you liquefy the chunks of brownie and put them in here, that's kind of what it's like.
yeah.
You take away that crunchy sugar flavor that you get in brownie batter. That's this.
Except a lot more booze.
Well, yeah, because there's no booze in brownie batter.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay, so I poured mine as well, and it has like a nice caramel kind of color.
A little hazy, a little pale, a little hazy on
I think it's technically well, it just says ale. So, it was aged in Chardonnay barrels. So I have to try to pick up some nice wine flavors. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think I've had one beer aged in wine barrels, but I don't remember what it was like.
Yeah, I can definitely taste it.
Taste the wine
It's
barrels?
just kind of like really sweet. Well, I mean sweet kind of like a red wine.
Oh, sweet.
So not like sweet like a white wine, because white wines are like grape juice.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
But
not all white wines. You can get dry white wines.
Well, I'm sure. I've just never had one though.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So this is pretty good though too. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, mine is gonna be a chore to finish it because it's so thick. It literally is as thick as brownie batter would be if you put it into beer.
Literally, yeah. Like that's a very good way to think of it.
Not that that's a problem because I love beer and I love brownies, so this is just a natural combination.
Oh my goodness.
So once again, we're logging on to our favorite app, Untapped.
Yeah, Untapped.
Yeah, we'll give them some free advertisement. If you guys like beer and if you like any type of social media, this is the app for you.
It's true. It's kind of like
a fun app for logging your beers so that your friends can see.
Coming this summer. Well, it's already out. But.
Yeah, it's been out for a couple years. No, it's just kind of fun to see what your friends are drinking or whatever, and hopefully your friends drink good beers. Otherwise, it'll just. I know some people who, if they had this app, it would just be Bud Light every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Belgian style IPA. Oh boy.
Oh, burp number one.
Yeah, burp number one out of.
You know what they say about burp number one? Ship-a-da-beep-a-dow.
Oh my gosh, dude. So, why don't we get into which albums we both listened to this week?
Okay, I suppose I'll start it off.
All right, go for it.
Jesse recommended that I listen to an album called Neon Bible by the band Arcade Fire. And I have certainly heard their name before. I've seen them perform on Saturday Night Live before.
You did?
Yeah, I remember they had a ton of members in their band.
Yep, yeah.
And their singer had this weird long hair that kind of like went to down and over his eye and to the side.
I wonder when that was.
I've seen him a couple times on Saturday Night Live. I know that. and he didn't move around at all, and I was bored. And so every time I think of Arcade Fire, I'm like, big boring band. And so that's my I don't know, my prejudice against them, I guess, is that.
Apparently, I've heard they put on an amazing live show though.
And you can't really base a Saturday Night Live performance as their actual performance, because I've seen so many bands that I like on Saturday Night Live where they kind of just stand there.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably not really much room.
He looked bored.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I did see Macklemore once on Saturday Night Live, and he was bouncing all over the place.
Huh.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. But since you're the one who recommended this for me, why don't you tell me about what kind of got you into them and how you discovered them?
Let's see. Well, I think the first song I heard from them is their song "Wake Up," which is, I think most people know that song. It was on the commercial for the movie Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh, I didn't know it was them. Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah.
I didn't do the song justice, but it's kind of something like that.
Yeah, that's it. And so I heard that, and I think my brother first introduced them to me, or he listened to them. So I was like, oh, who's this? And so I started listening to them. And Neon Bible is, I wouldn't say it's my favorite album by them, but it's definitely kind of a good place to start off, I guess.
Yeah, from what I was reading, they kind of started out, I can't remember what the first album's called, but it was kind of more of like a generic indie pop kind of sound.
Yeah, I think so.
And this, from my understanding, this was the album that kind of started getting closer to their sound, or kind of breaking off from that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I definitely consulted Wikipedia on this album a little bit. Not a problem.
Yeah, that's
that.
fine.
And there's a website called Lyric Genius, I think is what it's called,
where they talk about their lyrics or something.
They talk about the lyrics. There's always a description for each song, but sometimes people will highlight specific lines.
Oh, okay.
And talk about what's actually going on there. I didn't do that as much with this, but I've done that with brand new albums before.
Yeah, because their lyrics can be kind of convoluted and
dense.
Yeah, pretty dense. Well, I think the lyrics in this album are quite dense too.
Oh no, they definitely are.
But a little bit more straightforward than brand new lyrics, though.
I agree. But the first thing, after I listened to this album probably 3 or 4 times through, and then I went on the Wikipedia page and kind of read about the composition of the album. And their singer, I think he had written one song, and this is completely me guessing from what I read earlier, so don't quote me on this because I'm literally paraphrasing a Wikipedia page. So none of this is reliable, but I'm going to say it anyways. Essentially, it was him talking about his homeland and his life from an outsider's perspective, and he got a lot of influence from watching YouTube videos of TV priests, preachers, kind of those televangelist type things.
Yeah.
And a bunch of get-rich-quick kind of like TV commercial type
pyramid
things.
schemes.
Yeah. And so that gave him a lot of influence, and I guess that led him to writing about television a lot and how that influences society.
Yeah.
And so that metaphor comes back a lot. That and the themes of the ocean. He talks about the ocean a lot on the album, but more so as a metaphor for lack of control, which I suppose comes down to television again. And he kind of gets into that in the songs.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. After I listened to this album once through, I was kind of like, meh. I was like, not my style, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
There was probably one song that I thought was. I think there's 2 songs that I thought were super catchy off the beginning. Mm-hmm. But other than that, everything else was just kind of like, huh. Yeah. After a second listen, that's when things were getting a little bit more familiar. And then by the 3rd time, I was humming along. I knew what was happening. I knew it was coming, and I started to actually like some of the stuff a lot more than I had before. And there are still some songs that I don't care for.
Really?
Yeah, there's some songs that...
Like which ones?
I'll get into them.
Okay,
I'll get into them. But after kind of reading about the album and looking up at the lyrics and seeing what it's talking about, I can't really dislike anything for its artistic value because I think the album holds a lot of merit. Yeah, and I think definitely. They put a lot of work into this, and not even lyrically, musically and sonically. There's a lot going on in this album. Like I read that he there's a hurdy-gurdy on the album. That they so many weird instruments that they just put on the album. Yeah, there's all kind of funky stuff that you don't normally hear on songs that you hear on the radio.
Yeah, definitely.
If that makes sense. But I suppose I'll just delve into it, starting with Black Mirror. It's kind of a weird song.
Black Mirror.
And it's got this, I don't know what all instruments are playing the motif underneath, but it's like that. And that comes back the entire song.
Yeah.
It's just, it's good. It's just that it keeps coming back.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out what the heck he was talking about with a black mirror before I even looked up any of the words. And so I kind of came to the conclusion that black mirror is your reflection, but maybe distorted, maybe not 100% of what you're seeing. If you're looking into a black mirror, it's not always going to be reliable, kind of like that. And that's what I kind of got out of it. And so I just kind of figured distorted reflection. This is another one of my songs that's not my favorite.
Yeah, I really like this song.
It's good. It's not my favorite. Kind of weird that there's one part where he starts singing in French.
Yeah.
I was like,
all he's saying is 1, 2, 3, Black Mirror.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe counting in French?
Un, deux, trois.
I literally wrote that down.
I'm pretty sure he just says un, deux, trois, dix, miroir noir.
I think there's some other words in there too, but I could be wrong. No?
It's just un, deux, trois, dix, un, deux, trois, dix, miroir noir.
Je vais à la bibliothèque. Oui? No?
I'm pretty sure it's just 1, 2, 3, Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
I like that. I like the line in that song. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me where their bombs will fall. You know, remember that line?
No.
So I kind of the Black Mirror I think might be in relation, like you talked about TV before. It might be
television showing us a distorted reality.
A television, screen. So not maybe specifically your reflection, but
everyone's looking for answers on TV.
Television reflecting reality or something like that.
Yeah, but you look for answers and stuff on TV. It's kind of common nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Just as you look for truth in a mirror.
Okay, yeah.
Because mirrors don't lie, right? So why would the television lie? Oh.
Do they lie?
If it's a black mirror, maybe it does. All right, we're getting too into depth into one song. Let's move along.
That's okay.
The next song is called Keep the Car Running, and that was one of the two songs I really liked from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because it is super catchy.
Keep the car running.
And it's got this, I don't know if it's a guitar, if it's a baritone guitar, or if it's some weird filter on a bass guitar, but whatever the heck is playing on there, I really like the sound of it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of got like that drive, like the dun dun dun, like kind of like that pushing the song. I didn't really write much down about this except for it's super catchy, and I liked it from the beginning.
Yeah.
I gave this 5 check marks out of 5 check marks.
I saw those check marks on your page, and I was like, those must be his ratings for the songs.
How's the guitar part go, though? I should remember this.
I haven't listened to the album in a while. I listened to it earlier this week, but I can't remember.
It's if there was 2 songs that I would recommend off of this album, I'll go with 3 because 3 is a good number. This is definitely one of them. Listen to the song Keep the Car Running because it's super infectious and it's one that you'll be humming along later, even though I can't for the life of me remember how it goes now because I've got the whole album swimming in my head.
Yeah.
The next song is the title track, Neon Bible. And so I was kind of like, why did they title their album Neon Bible? What's all this about? And it's kind of ironic that they would title the album Neon Bible, so you'd think that it's like this super important theme, but it's the shortest song on the album.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, might make a point also at the same time. I don't know what they're trying to say. But when I was thinking of Neon Bible, I was thinking, because it kind of relates to the cover art too a little bit.
Yeah, it's a
like neon lights.
Literally a neon light, yeah.
Like when I think of neon lights, I think of a bar and all these Coors Light in here. We have beer. Come on in. And so I wrote down neon bar lights that attract empty promises. And so I think that's kind of what he's talking about, like the television preachers that are big and flashy and like trying to say, you know, come on in, but it's really an empty promise and you're not going to find fulfillment or whatever you're looking for. And he's got some biblical references in the song. Like he definitely talks about wrong and right, and he talks about the golden calf.
Yeah, I believe he studied religion in college,
so he knows what he's talking about.
I really like the line in that take the poison of your age.
He talks about
don't lick your fingers when you turn the page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that line comes back a bunch of times.
And then like the whole like motif of that song,
Neon Bible,
the Neon Bible,
and that keeps coming back.
Not much chance for survival if the Neon Bible is true.
So I mean, after knowing that he was watching a lot of television preachers, I'm pretty positive that that's where it came from.
Yeah.
The next song, Intervention, is definitely my favorite song on the album because. I don't know, it's just super catchy, but it starts off with this huge church organ.
Yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah.
And sometimes when you think church organs, you think, ooh, scary, like do-do-do, do-do-do-do, that one Bach thing.
Yeah.
But this is
Canon in D minor, is that what it is?
I don't remember what it is. But it's super catchy, and it's really like, it's in a major key, and it's just so inviting and awesome sounding, and so big. Yeah. As soon as I hear that I'm just like, oh, yes. Dun, da, 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 da. And the vocal melody kind of sings along with that.
Yeah.
And the very first line that he says is, the king is taking back the throne.
The king is taking back the throne.
Yeah, which is a really cool line. But then he says something about sowing a seed.
The seedless something is sown.
Yeah, so it's seedless, but it's sown. So it's Is there a purpose?
Yeah,
maybe not. So when you hear that line, you're kind of like, oh yeah, and then the very next line is kind of like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
So you get pumped up just to be like, wait a second, this isn't important. This isn't going to bear any fruit. But I still think that was a really cool first lyric, and I was kind of. It's almost hard to understand what he's saying in this song. But it does sound like it's kind of against religion.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Because he's talking about, like, the chorus is working for the church while your family dies.
Yep.
Working for the church while your family dies. Bum, 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 bum. Your little baby sister's gonna lose her mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a super, like, catchy and, like, major sounding, very poppy song.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess... I'm going to just bring it up now. The album kind of goes up and down, not 100% consistently, but almost track by track. It's kind of like a not super melodic, I don't know, sonically melodic.
Flat
and
song,
then a big, super catchy song. And even a lot of the songs that are super catchy crescendo a lot, where they start out small and end up really big. Or I read somewhere that somebody's talking about this, and there's a lot of spring-loaded tension. I can't claim that, but spring-loaded tension, where it's like you feel the tension, you feel all this kind of uneasiness, and then it releases eventually. But the next song, which is Black Wave, Bad Rhythm, which is some reference to the Beach Boys.
Is that in parentheses, Bad Rhythm? Or is that slash Bad Rhythm?
Slash, yeah. It's kind of like two different parts where the beginning of the song starts out with all these ladies singing. You know what I'm talking about? All these ladies come in, and it's really unnerving. It kind of like the melody and the chords underneath are really, I don't know, unnerving. And
I think that's like that's
the goal. That's definitely the goal. And it's stressful.
So you think of like a big black wave.
Yeah, it's super stressful
coming on to you.
I don't know why, but I don't feel easy.
Yeah,
and eventually they get to a chorus where it kind of gets a little bit more easy sounding and kind of relaxed. But they also sing in French a bunch of times, and I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Le oui.
I can't remember what they're actually saying in that song.
Mademoiselle.
Because it's the same.
Le petite baguette, oui? No?
It's the same girl who's singing in French, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even when the singer, like the main guy singer comes back in, it's a very different melody, but it's still very uneasy feeling.
Is that a stop now before it's too late?
Yes.
Been eating in the ghetto on $100 plate. Nothing lasts forever, that's the way it's gotta be. There's a great black wave in the middle of the sea. For me. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
This song wasn't my favorite.
Oh, really? I love that song too.
Neither was the next song, Ocean of Noise. When I say not my favorite, I mean,
no shit.
like I said before, I'm coming more from can I listen to it and not pay attention to the lyrics and still enjoy it at the same time?
Yeah.
Because this isn't one of those albums 100% through where I mean, not this. That's mainly my opinion. I'm just throwing it out there. Other people may disagree, but I would say about half the songs are ones that I might not put on just to listen to and hum along to.
Right.
Especially the next song, Ocean of Noise.
No shit.
I gave it 2.5 check marks.
I first heard your voice. Yeah.
And it starts out with a lot of noise. It almost sounds like there's a storm at sea mixed with all this weird industrial noise.
Yeah. This is where you and I are much different in how we first started listening to music. Cause
I listen to the music and the melodies first. Yeah. I get drawn on by the poppiness of music.
I definitely listen to the words.
Even though I don't like pop music, but I do, I guess.
Well, poppiness as in catchy and good hooks and such.
But they sing about the ocean a lot, and they sing about noise. They talk about, I guess, essentially how the ocean is kind of lack of control, and there's all this noise going on in your life, which kind of loses you from focusing on things.
Yeah, and I mean, to go back to the whole neon Bible thing.
And the whole television, because television...
and what I get out of that is the ocean of noise being, the cultural, things that go on, the preachers, the televangelists, it's just...
You get caught up in it, even if you don't want to.
No, yeah, but it's just, it's just there. It's just this ocean of noise,
Yeah.
And, it's, I think he's criticizing it. And
he definitely is.
That's why he's saying, it's stupid and terrible. Or, pointless, pretty much.
But the next song, The Well in the Lighthouse, I gave that 4.5 check marks. It's a winner. That would be the third song I would recommend. So let's pause from talking about the song so I can come back to the 3 songs I recommend. The 3 songs that I recommend in this order, my favorite is the song Intervention. My second favorite is Keep the Car Running. My third favorite is The Well in the Lighthouse. Since we've already talked about those first 2 songs, let's move along to the song that we're still on, The Well in the Lighthouse.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on to it.
The song is a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? More story driven. It's got more of a narrative, almost, about him committing a crime. Because he says, I've committed a crime that I've been convicted of a crime that I've committed. I don't know if that's what he says, but that's essentially what he says. Because there's a lot of songs I've heard where I've been convicted of a crime I didn't commit, and blah blah blah. But this one, he's I deserve my punishment. I committed it, whatever. And so it's kind of different than what you'd expect. But another reason why this song is good is because it's super catchy.
How does the chorus go again?
I don't remember because it's not my favorite part. But it's
or the hook, the main hook line.
I'll come back to that in a second.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But those last 2 songs, Black Wave Bad Vibration and Ocean of Noise, were not very poppy or melodic in that sense. Yeah. This song is.
Yeah.
But there's a hook that definitely comes back throughout the song, but at the very end of the song, it kind of changes rhythm, meter.
Yep.
And he repeats this line, "The lions and the lambs ain't sleeping yet."
Yeah.
And it's just, I really like that line. Because it's super catchy, but it's also a really cool line at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lions and the lambs. Yeah. But let's move on to the next song, because I think this is the most interesting song on the entire album, because based on what I've read about it.
Yeah, just based on the lyrics too.
Yeah, because I had to read about this on Lyric Genius, whatever that heck that website's called, and that opened up a lot of revelation to me about what this song's about. Because I just thought it was a guy talking about not wanting to work a boring job for the rest of his life, because he talks about not wanting to work downtown. I'm an honest, God-fearing man, or whatever. But this song is about parents pushing their children into stardom or into their own dreams.
Yeah,
even if it's not what's right for them.
Yeah, basically.
And according to that website, this song is about, not 100%, but a lot of influence was taken from Ashley Simpson and Jessica Simpson through the perspective of their father.
Oh, okay.
Because he wants to do what's right and wants to do what's good for them, but is this really good for them? And then like at the very end, the very last song, in fact, I didn't even say what the song was called. So here's what the song's called. It's all in parentheses. It's called Antichrist Television Blues. And so he's talking about like trying to do what's best for his daughters and like having them like sing or be in a cage on stage or sing like a mockingbird. And so all those things are like, is this what they want or is this what I want?
Yeah.
And at the very end of the song, in the very last line of the song is, "Oh, tell me, Lord, am I the Antichrist?" And and then it just cuts out. Like that's the last line, and it cuts out, and you're like, whoa. Yeah. And so at the very end, it's kind of like, maybe I've ruined their lives. Yeah. Because of greed, my own greed.
Or essentially like Antichrist, I would assume in this sense is like anti what Christ was.
Yeah, the ruiner, not bringing them like to their full potential, doing what's best for them.
Yeah, selfish, not looking for best in others, but looking for best in self. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's why I think that song's super interesting because of that.
Super crazy.
The next song, Windowsill.
Good song.
It is a good song. I gave it 3.5 check marks, which is pretty good in my book. Next time I review an album, it'll probably be in stars because it makes more sense than check marks. I know.
Well, 3.5 check marks is still a C.
Well, yeah, and C's pretty average, I guess.
Passing.
Yeah, it's passing. It passes in my book. It passes in my grade book. A pass.
What?
Never mind. But this is just about him observing life as an outsider. Literally, he talks about seeing from a windowsill, and when you think of that, you're somewhere up higher than everywhere else. In some respect removed from what's actually happening, but you're able to peek out the windowsill and see what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's about him talking about seeing a lot of messed up and distracting things, kind of loss of control. And there was a lot of pretty good lines out of there, but the one line I took away from it was, he says, "MTV, what have you done to me?" Yeah. And that's coming back to the television line. Yeah. The whole television's kind of... It's a huge part of our lives, but is it actually for our own benefit?
Yeah,
is there any good out of it?
Is it actually worth putting time into?
And their conclusion is no.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I like TV though. MTV was good back in the day, but I wasn't alive in those days.
That's true. Yeah.
We're in the days. Well, we grew up in the days of the Jersey Shore in the real world.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm glad I didn't have cable.
I didn't watch the shows. They were there. Yeah. I watched Jersey Shore in college after it was already over, just because.
Didn't Justin get really into that?
Me and him got into it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
This was me and my roommate in college, Justin Fink. We call him Finkelberry sometimes. He's a hoot.
Yeah, Finkelberry.
We would watch the Jersey Shore. And actually, no, we started watching it, I think, when the 3rd or 4th season was airing. And so we would stream it on our computers, and at least I wore a tank top so I could show off my muscles while we watched it. And we'd sit there and say, "Cabs are here, t-shirt time."
I remember that, yeah.
And, everything on the show is the epitome of, what I don't like, but it's the car wreck thing where it's so bad, but once you start, you can't stop watching.
It's still really interesting to watch just to see how bad it is.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. My heart sank whenever I was sitting in my living room and my sister turned on the very first episode of The Bachelorette because I started watching it. I was like, now I have to watch the entire season. And I did.
Oh my gosh. Was that the first season?
No, I have no idea. There's there's
probably a million
seasons, yeah.
Bachelorettes and Bachelors.
And I watched it. I waited till it came on and I watched it.
Man,
every week. And after it was over, I was like, it didn't do anything for me. When it was over, I was like, this was stupid.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for more episodes. I was like, this was stupid. I'm never watching this again. But I watched an entire season of it. So there you go, MTV. What have you done to me? The Bachelorette.
Yeah, I hate that show.
Back to the album. The second to last song is called "No Cars Go," and
this is the 2007 version.
I didn't know there was a different version.
There's an earlier version.
Is it the same song though?
It's the same song, but you know, like Switchfoot.
They just kind of like re-recorded and add things to it.
Re-recorded it, made it sound a lot better.
Okay.
In my opinion, anyway.
Well, that makes sense. Except for the hardcore fans that would get mad and be like,
yeah. No, dude, the original's way better on the 7-inch. Yeah.
But
this song is definitely about like how television is bad, or like the answer.
Oh, yeah.
The answer to that.
But even before I listened to it, I looked at that, I was like, I wonder if all the cars like ran out of gas because no cars go. Or maybe there was an electromagnetic pulse and the cars just don't work anymore. Because like, no cars go anymore because they're broken.
No cars go anymore.
But no, they're talking about going to a place where no cars can get to, where no planes can get to, where no boats can get to.
No subs can get to.
And yeah, there are not many lyrics. They just kind of fill in the blank for no blanks go.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit more lyrics to that, but essentially it's kind of like he knows a place where you can go and not be influenced by all the societal noise, where you can avoid, if I'm going to harken back to an earlier song, where you avoid the ocean of noise.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm kind of wondering, like they sing about, we know a place where no cars go. Is there actually a place? Can you do that in today's society? Because it seems like it's so difficult.
You mean the metaphorical sense of it?
Yeah.
Not literally like, there are places where cars can't go.
I know that.
Literally.
And I mean, you literally could move to an island where there's no television or noise like this, but staying in America, it's so difficult.
Yeah, and I mean, this song was in 2007.
Yeah, it's only gotten worse.
So yeah, I mean, like that was only 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, we're dating the episode now, but that's okay.
Whoa.
But I mean, like, I think that's probably the point. It's like, so if he does know a place, like, where is it?
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people would like to go there. Even though I like checking my phone and stuff, and I like watching movies, and I like TV, and I like music, but
I've been very tempted.
How much is it affecting it?
I've been very tempted to get rid of my phone.
I know, but
it's so hard.
You have that temptation to do that, but literally, there are things you cannot do without a phone anymore.
Yeah, well, literally, I mean, it'd be
like I can't go to Dunkin' Donuts and use my.
Okay.
I can't take selfie videos on Snapchat without my phone.
Oh my god.
No, I jest, but seriously, like the way that today's society is,
it's difficult.
You almost 100% need to have a phone to function.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary.
It's a little bit
when
weird.
you think about it, it's ridiculous and scary, but when you're living your life in it, you don't really notice. It's just only when you think about it, you're like, holy crap.
And now
I am addicted to my phone. I need this.
I mean, now
I'm addicted to everything now, and I need to have this.
Yeah. And now kids don't even know the age before, not the age, that's a terrible word to use, but the time before phones and
social media and all this hullabaloo.
Because like when we were kids,
I didn't have a cell phone.
I was content to play with Buzz Lightyear, my Buzz Lightyear action figure and lightsabers.
When I was a kid, I had like 15 phone numbers memorized for all my buddies.
Yeah.
Because I used to run I would run to the street and I'd be like, Mom, gotta use the phone. And if I didn't remember it, I ran to our drawer with
the numbers.
With the phone, we had a phone book. Yeah, I looked up my friends' phone numbers and I dialed them. And if not, I ran down the street and I rang on my friend's bell and I said, "Hey man, you want to come out and play? You want to shoot some basketball?" And that's how we played. I ran down the street to my buddy Brad's house. I was like, "Hey Brad, let's play flag football. Let's see if Frankie's home." And so we did. And you know what? People came outside and we did that.
Yeah, it's true.
Today, I don't even know if people call anymore. Like, I make calls from time to time, but it's texts.
Yeah.
Text messages. Yo, bro, what up, man?
Did you have a rotary phone?
We did not, actually.
Oh.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was fun.
I want to use a rotary phone just because the novelty.
It was really funny, yeah. I remember the noise it made. It made the number as like...
Yeah, I've seen them, and I think I've played with them in museums.
In museums,
yeah. I've been to the Smithsonian. There's some pretty cool stuff there. Visit the Smithsonian if you haven't before. Just a PSA. Just visit the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C.
Just a quick PSA.
They're free. You can literally go into Washington, D.C., and I think they've got like 8 or 9 different Smithsonian museums there. Totally free, and there's some really cool stuff there. Learn about our country. Go to the capital, Washington, D.C.
I think I've been there.
Yeah, it's really cool. The only disappointment I had there was when we went to the McDonald's and everything was jacked up in price.
Oh, yeah. Well,
there's no dollar menu. A Big Mac sandwich costs like $8 without fries and without a drink.
That's bull crap.
Yeah, it is. But anyways, we digress. Back to the album.
On No Cars Go, the ending where he kind of like shouts, "Women and children,
come on,
let's go!
Old people,
old folks,
old folks, let's go!"
I think he says like, "Babies, let's go!"
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that part.
I do too.
Old folks, let's go.
My Body is a Cage, the very last song, is probably the song that's the most emotionally driven, almost, because everything else is very observational.
Yeah.
I mean, there's experience and stuff in those lyrics, but this song is definitely 100% emotionally driven about this guy's experience.
Yeah.
And the whole song, this literally the music I write about is this song right here.
Yeah.
Where he's saying the only person that limits what I want to do is myself.
Yeah.
The first line is "My body is a cage," and he says a couple other words, but my mind holds the key.
Yeah.
And so it's that whole thing where it's like, sure, people will tell you how to act. I don't know, laws will keep you from doing anything, but the number one factor on what you do, what you think, what you say is yourself.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
I wrote an entire album about that.
Was that the...
That's the one that I'm still recording right now, yeah.
Yeah.
My entire album is about this one thing that he's talking about in this song.
Yeah.
10 whole songs I wrote about. Because it's such a crazy subject. Why is that the case?
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, I completely know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like the one...
I fill up notebook pages trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean... That's what I don't like this musically, but I love this song.
You don't like it musically?
It's good.
Really?
I like it. I don't love
it. My body is a cage.
Because it's kind of got that. What kind of style would you say that is?
What do you mean?
Kind of almost like bluesy, like rock and roll bluesy.
A little bit, yeah.
Not the music, but that that melody.
Not like
there.
12-bar blues or
no.
something like that. No.
But it's got that bluesy feel to it.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's not my favorite. I like it. I like it a lot better than half the songs on this album musically, but thematically, I think it's my favorite. Song lyrically and thematically.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's the one I can relate to the most.
Yeah.
Still not my top 3 songs I'd recommend.
And I mean, that seems like kind of maybe that's like the answer to the whole album. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you really you just kind of have to get over it and like realize that you can transcend above.
Because the whole song is
stuff.
I can't really remember specific lyrics, but he kind of talks about how, like, I don't want to something, I want to this. Like, I don't want to live in my father's house, I want to something or other. And it's kind of a lot of that type style lyric.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's him who's in control of it. Mm-hmm. And he's probably going to limit himself.
Yeah.
Because that's just how...
Yeah, because my body's a cage.
Yeah. And I think it comes back to that whole television, ocean lack of control type of thing where it's... Mm-hmm. He doesn't feel like he's in control of anything, and he's got all of this noise that affects how he decides on how to act or what to do. And that kind of... the whole album pours into this song.
Yeah, I would agree with that, yeah.
Which is the perfect way to close an album.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of depressing, too.
It's very depressing.
But it's realistic in a way. Yeah. You know?
The album that I wrote that's about this, I ended much more happy.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you end it again?
Essentially, the last song of my album redraws on every single song that I sing on that album.
Yeah.
And it ends with, I'll sing this song and know that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I'll try, whatever. I know that it's going to be the same cycle of repression and of not kind of acting how you want to do because society is a scary place. And I'm a timid, anxious kind of guy. Yeah. And I know that that's going to keep happening. But because I know that, I can almost compensate a little bit. Yeah. Where I can almost accept the fact that that's going to happen, and I'll just keep pushing forward. And I won't get as upset if that happens because I'll understand why. And I'll keep pushing forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And when I say that, I know that I'm not alone. If this guy is singing about the same thing, there's plenty of other people that feel the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be surprised if most people didn't feel that way.
Yeah. But we've talked about this album for way too long.
Well, that's because it's so dense.
It is very dense.
And now we're going to a very less dense album.
Yes. we're going into
an album. Slightly dense, but
why don't you say what the album's called?
The album is called Avalanche United, and it's by the band I Am The Avalanche.
Yeah. I can give my background on the band at least.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, because you're the one who introduced me to them.
Yes.
A while ago.
One of our favorite bands is the Swellers. They're a super underrated pop punk band that sings songs that are not just about girls, kind of about the struggle of life, and they just do it so eloquently, but with awesome melodies and music, which is a rare combination. But we were going to see a show of theirs in Pittsburgh, and they were opening up for this band, I Am The Avalanche. And so before we even went to the show, I looked them up, and I listened to one song called The Shape I'm In, and I was like, oh my gosh, this song is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, all I want to hear is this song, and I'll be happy. So at the concert, me and Jesse saw the Swellers play, and we're like, okay, good. And then after their set, we went downstairs to get a beer because the venue was actually above a bar.
The Smiling Moose.
The Smiling Moose in Pittsburgh. Super tiny, awesome venue. But we went downstairs to get a beer, and we'd already paid our tab. We probably had about a half a beer left. And then I hear this music come on. I was like, this sounds strangely familiar. And, of course, it was The Shape I'm In. I missed the entire song. But we came upstairs, and the show was... I was so persuaded by the show, I bought an album. And that's only 1 out of 2 times where I've been persuaded to like a band based on their live show. Actually, 3 times, I'm sorry.
And one of those times was the Swellers.
One of those times was also the Swellers. One of them was I Am The Avalanche, and one of them was a band called Diamond Youth.
Oh, yeah, Diamond Youth. Yeah, we also saw them with the Swellers.
Yeah.
At the same place.
But funny story, I also saw I Am The Avalanche play in Kentucky, and they were playing one song that wasn't my favorite, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad. So I ran to the bathroom, and as I'm washing my hands, I hear them play The Shape I'm In again. I'm like, crap, I can't miss this song 2 times in a row. So I ran back and caught it.
I got it. Oh,
yeah, but after we saw them after we saw the Swellers opening for I Am The Avalanche, I bought their most recent album, which is called Wolverines. I fell in love, and I bought all of their back catalog, and I just think they're a fantastic band. And why they're not as dense as bands such as Arcade Fire is I've listened to interviews from their lead singer, whose name is Vinny Caruana, and he says that this band is literally just for fun.
Really?
Yeah, he does this band because he likes to write the songs. It's nothing super deep. I mean, he writes some good personal stuff on there, but it's nothing super heavy, and it's one of those bands that he just likes to have fun in. Yeah. And he came from a band called The Movie Life. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They were one of those drive-through emo type bands that...
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
They had a big impact, and then they kind of disbanded for a while. They're actually back again, but whatever.
And then he also does solo stuff too.
Oh yeah, he's got a solo album too. He's got a solo EP which is much more acoustically driven, and then a solo album which is full band. But the Avalanche I recommended for Jesse is called Avalanche United. It's their second album, but I think it's their album. I think it's the album that defines them.
What? No, but you said the Avalanche that I recommended for Jesse.
Oh, the I Am The Avalanche album that I recommended for Jesse. Yeah. Whatever. It's Avalanche. I also this is just a funny side note. I follow them on Instagram, and I saw
the Avalanche.
Yeah, and on their most recent tour, they had a T-shirt that was Amelie. If any of you have ever heard of the movie Amelie, I've actually never seen it, but I guarantee you've probably seen the cover. It's this black-haired girl from France, and
really
she's
red
with a
lips
smile,
and really white face.
And so they have a picture of her on a T-shirt. It's a red T-shirt, and she's screen printed only in black, and so she kind of looks kind of scary. And above it says like J'ai entendu les avalanches, and so it literally translates to I Am The Avalanche, and there's a picture of Amelie underneath.
Oh my god.
Kind of funny side note, but let's hear what you had to think about the album.
So first, whenever you showed me the song Shape I'm In, I really liked it, but I wasn't very fond of his voice.
He's got a gruff voice.
It's very, very gruff.
Yeah, and it's intentionally gruff because you can tell he's kind of making it that way.
Yeah. Because he can, I mean, like in his solo stuff, he sings normally. Mm-hmm.
I've talked to him too. I met him a couple times. Yeah, he's a chill dude.
Nice.
He doesn't talk like, "What up, man?"
Not like Steve-O.
No. He's a normal human being.
Normal human being, yeah.
He's a cool dude.
So yeah, at first I didn't really like his voice, but now I've listened to this album quite a few times now, and it's growing on me, definitely.
And the songs actually
and the songs are also growing on me as well.
Don't say the F word.
Yeah, so the first song is called Holy F.
Potty mouth word.
Yeah, and it kind of seemed like it was just kind of about like...
I've listened to a lot of punk rock.
Like,
I'm sorry to interject.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like before I even listened to this song, I was just assuming that they were going to say the F word all over the place. I was like...
They didn't, though.
I know, they didn't.
They didn't, well, they said it, but
they said it twice, but it wasn't like the main focus. And I'll let you continue. Sorry, I just wanted to interject that.
I mean, it seemed like a song just kind of about like, I'm on my own now, and like, holy F.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much to think about now. It's kind of, yeah, like he's starting to grow up or whatever. And so like I like that song. It was good. But like when I first listened to the album, I was like, I don't know if I like this. But no, it turns out that it was pretty good though.
Yeah.
But the next song, Brooklyn Dodgers.
Ooh.
It's definitely a song that I like a lot.
That's probably their most popular song.
You think so?
Yes, I
could see.
I wouldn't say I'm positive, but I'm pretty sure that's their.
So the thing I really like about this song is I'm assuming that he's from New York.
Oh yeah,
he must be from New York.
Yes,
okay,
he is.
Yeah. He talks about his dad a lot in this song, and he talks about like his dad must have been an immigrant, or his family must be immigrants from, I don't know where from, but
probably from Ireland.
The last name.
I'm sorry, Italian.
Italy, yeah.
Yeah. His first name is Vincenzo.
Yeah.
Like he even says relatives changed their names to seem more American.
Yeah. Like that's what I was gonna say. Like he was talking about his family a lot in that, and that line, like his relatives like changed their names to sound more American, and then I think it's almost like a song saying like I don't want to do that, or like I'm like proud of that, or like at least that line.
But the chorus
like that. But then the chorus is...
What do you think of the chorus? I'll let you say what you think of that. I'll say what I think.
Whatever happened to the Brooklyn Dodgers?
Yeah.
What happened to me? Yeah. And then whatever happened to all the New York gentlemen?
It's like a Wonder Years moment for me. The band Wonder Years, like the greatest generation. It's because kind of looking back on that generation before, saying like they might have sacrificed. Well, no, not they might have. They definitely sacrificed, and they were respectable.
Yeah, and then the line is, and my dad said, "Son, you're looking at one." So he's like, just like recognizing heritage, I guess, like at least for him, like in New York.
Oh yeah.
And like realizing that there are a lot more people here before you.
Do you know what I like to do with this song?
What?
I like to change it for Pittsburgh. Whatever happened to the Pittsburgh Pirates? Whatever happened to Steve?
Oh my god.
For all of you who don't know, I like to interject my name into music.
Yeah,
I can say
literally.
Steve, I can say Steven, Stevie.
Yeah.
It's something my dad used to do all the time when I was a kid, and I hated it. And now I find myself doing it all the time.
That's hilarious.
All the time.
I can't really do that with my name.
You could, but it's
I've
not
tried
as
before.
easy.
Like Jess. That's like the one syllable instead of just Steve.
But I can also do Steven or Stevie.
Yeah, but I can do Jesse and then Jess. That's it.
Yeah.
But anyway, the next song is Amsterdam, which
my guess is this song is about one of their, like, they probably toured in Amsterdam or something.
They must have,
It's one of their experiences.
Because like, because like the chorus is like, Amsterdam with the camera in my hand and an orange parking cone in the other. Yeah. So it's just kind of like talking about, like they must have just been, I don't know, chilling in Amsterdam and had a camera and...
Very melodic song though.
Yeah.
I really like the second verse when because he sings about an octave lower in the verses and then jumps up in the chorus.
Yeah.
But he jumps that octave the second half of the second verse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just when he goes, "Oh, I forgot that the world is upside down." At least when he sings that line, I get the chills on the back of my neck. I'm like,
really?
"Ooh." Yeah, those are the kind of lines I love music. That make me remember why I love music.
I definitely don't get the chills from that line.
I do. Well, it might not even be the line. Actually, no, partially the line, mostly him jumping up the octave.
Yeah. Just that very dynamic shift and
oh yeah,
what you're used to.
I fell in love to music because of the music itself. I love messages and I love lyrics, but I fell in love with music because of the music itself.
Yeah. Cool. So that's not my favorite song, but I like it more than the next song though.
What's the next song?
I'll Be Back Around. Like it's not bad, but
that song's just kind of boring.
Yeah, just in general. So boring that I don't even remember what it's about.
That is the song that I ran to go to the bathroom to in Kentucky and almost missed the shape I'm in. Because I was like, I'm safe during this song. It's kind of long and I don't like it. Lo and behold, I was so wrong.
But then the next song is This Really Happening?
Oh, that's a good song.
That song is super catchy.
I like that. Yeah.
Is this really happening?
I like when he talks about the snow.
Yeah, the snow's melting right in front of my face.
I think that's kind of like a time kind of marches on and like how am I getting older?
Yeah.
Like where did holy crap, I'm old. How am I missing out on all this stuff?
Is this really happening?
Yeah.
But yeah, that song is really good. Just as far as like it's just so catchy. And I mean that's like pretty much all to say about it. Like it's.
How would you describe? I know that we're a couple songs in, but how would you describe the sound of these guys? I know I didn't even really describe what I thought of the sound of Arcade Fire, which I probably should have.
It depends on how familiar people are with punk or.
Well, even that, here's what I would say.
It's kind of like an in between rock and punk.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, I would call it like hardcore rock, hardcore punk.
Yeah, but then like his voice is obviously not like it's really really gruff.
Post-hardcore, if I'm going to be specific.
Post-hardcore,
but it's two guitars, a bass, drum, and a singer. It's that kind of thing. Whereas Arcade Fire, like I said, massive band. They've probably got a guitar, bass, drummer. They've got strings players. They've probably got horns players. They've probably got a player that plays our auxiliary percussion.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
a player that does the hurdy-gurdy. They've got all kind of things going on.
And an organ player too, I guess.
And if you don't know what I'm saying, look up a live performance from Arcade Fire, probably a televised one. Massive band, and they'll show what's going on.
Yeah.
Whereas I Am The Avalanche, straightforward, two guitars, bass, drums, singer.
And I would say like melodically, it's a lot. I don't know. I guess kind of more like simple melodies, and also very simple lyrics. But like what you said earlier about how he's just doing this for fun, like just talking about experiences.
He does write good melodies, though. I like them. It's nothing like super fancy pants, but they're so catchy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The next song. This one's on me.
Yeah.
That song's awesome.
It's not a song that I really find myself ever singing.
No, same.
But I like it because it's his like tribute to all his buddies.
Basically. So this song, This One's on Me, as you maybe imagine from the phrase "This one's on me," is a song.
He doesn't mean a number one painted on him. I got number one tattooed on my chest.
No, it's literally, as you maybe have already guessed, it's a song about drinking.
Yeah, he's at a bar.
Yeah, he's at a bar. Yeah, and like he talks about like one of his friends. He's like, he started a tab, so you know what happens after that, or something like that.
He mentions people by name, I think.
Yeah, he does,
which is kind of cool. I like when bands do that.
And then the part
of it.
The part of this song I really love is whenever he's talking about being on the roof, like looking out at the city.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I think he says like, I wonder if the city knows our names or something like that. And or it's some type of,
because he knows everybody's name in that bar, but he's like, what's the city know about me?
Yeah.
In the bigger picture, what does it know about me?
Yeah. And I just could imagine like after drinking a little bit thinking that about like if we were like looking at Nashville or something like that.
Kind of like that movie at World's End when they're after hitting up like 8 or 9 pubs. Yeah. They sit on the hill and watch the sunrise.
Yeah. And it's just like a moment of transcendence.
Transcendence. I guess that's a good word.
That's the only word I could think of.
That's a good word. I'll say that.
But yeah, I really like that song.
Yeah.
As far as my top 3 go, I would definitely say Brooklyn Dodgers is one of them.
Song's great.
That I would recommend. Oh my goodness. And we will get to the other ones. So the next song is called Dear Friends.
I don't even remember how the song goes.
I mean, Dead Friends. Not Dear Friends.
How's that song go?
Gosh, I can't even remember now either.
We'll play a split. No copyright infringement. We're just going to enlighten ourselves. Because I don't remember. Yeah, what the heck?
Do I have the volume up?
Jesse's got a weird iTunes. Oh yeah! It's almost like a letter that he wrote to someone who killed themselves.
Something like that. Someone had died.
Oh yeah, it's a heavy. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good song. I just don't remember the title, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Dead Friends is the title.
Yeah, it's not a happy title, and it's not a happy song because he's talking about friends who have passed, and I want to say it's about someone who took her life.
I honestly don't know. But that's also a very good song.
Like when he talks about the punk rock show, No Effects in town.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to go? Like that's what he said?
I think so, yeah.
So he's talking to someone who was depressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that song's really good.
I'm glad we played that split second because I would have forgot.
Yeah. And the next song I really like a lot. It's called You've Got Spiders.
I hate spiders. They give me the heebie-jeebies.
There's just like one line that I really like in it where he says, I recognize those cavernous eyes. Mm-hmm. But it's the melody that kind of is really good.
I recognize those cavernous eyes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But then, like, whenever I first listened to this song, whenever he said the lyric, You've Got Spiders, I was like, what the heck?
You've got spiders.
Because, yeah, he just, like, literally, like, the band drops out, and he, like, his voice kind of goes low, and he's like, You've got spiders. And I was just like, what the heck?
I know. You're kind of like, huh? And then he comes with the chorus.
Yeah.
I recognize.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those cavernous eyes. Yeah.
That's a good song. Like, when you think about a live concert, that'd be a good song to hear live.
Yeah. It'd be
just a song to rage to.
Yeah. It'd be so great. Yeah. And yeah, that's one of the things about like these songs is that I'm assuming for him, like they must love playing these songs live.
Oh yeah. I've seen them live twice and they put a lot into their show.
I'm sure, yeah.
What about that next song though?
Oh yeah. The Gravedigger's Argument.
Yeah.
That one dude, Anthony Ranieri, sings on it.
Anthony Ranieri from Bayside. They're both from New York. And on one of Bayside's, their second or third album was called The Walking Wounded. And on the title track of that album, Vinny from I Am The Avalanche came in and sang the chorus.
Yeah. Okay, I do.
So their buddies are they're band buddies, I guess.
Yeah.
So Anthony Ranieri came in and sang the bridge of this song. Mm-hmm. Do you know what this song's about?
Not really, no.
Vinny Caruana is divorced, and this song is about him burying his dead wife. He's a good guy. Honestly, he wouldn't do it, but I think this is kind of like what he wants to do because he's so angry.
Yeah. I like that song a lot.
You haven't? Because he's like, you haven't changed enough, and I've changed a bit.
Yeah.
I said, why do I always have to be? So it's just his argument with his ex-wife.
Yeah. That song seemed a little bit more, just like a lot different than the other songs in the album.
I'd say so.
Like melodically and like structurally and.
You know the tragedy about this song?
What?
When I saw them in Kentucky, they were playing with Bayside.
Oh.
And I'm the Avalanche played this song, and Anthony Ranieri did not come up and sing it.
Oh my gosh.
And in a similar fashion, Bayside played Walking Wounded, in which Vinny Caruana of I'm the Avalanche sang on the recording version, but he did not come up and do it live. Talk about missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Because I was like, ooh, they're going to come up, they're going to sing, oh! And then they didn't. I was like, oh.
On a side note, we're seeing Switchfoot and Relient K soon.
And we're hoping...
And we're very much hoping that Relient K plays Deathbed.
Because
and
John Foreman sings on the end of Deathbed, and we're hoping that they do it because...
So we're really hoping that he comes out and sings on that song.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, melody, sonically song from Lion K. But every time I listen to that song, it gives me the chills, and it's just like it's probably about 7 or 8 minutes long.
And it's like 9 minutes.
It's a chronicling of this guy's life from birth to deathbed, and him reflecting on his life.
Yeah.
And at the very end, Jesus comes and talks to him, and John Foreman kind of voices Jesus. Yeah. Oh, that song gives me the goosebumps.
Yeah, it's super good. But anyway.
Yeah, we digress.
Back to Avalanche United. The next song is this is another song that I would definitely recommend. Casey's song, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because of that first intro guitar is just I just want to
Casey needs a holiday.
Yeah, down. Yeah.
I like when the drums come in.
It's just so good.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a buddy named Casey who was putting in his time at a factory or a crappy job or something.
Yeah.
Or having a rough time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's another song that I would definitely recommend. That's pretty much all I have to say about that song. It's so good. It's
if you hear that song,
super catchy.
You bob your head to that song, you're like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah, just from the beginning intro on the guitar.
Yeah.
Whenever I was listening to it earlier today, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was just kind of listening or whatever. And then that song came out and I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
Hoa. Ralph Garman style.
Yeah, Ralph Garman style.
Hello to my little friend.
Casey's song.
Oh, Casey's song. Hoo-ah. Come on now with the Casey's song. I'm Avalanche. Hoo-ah.
Oh, man. If you don't know who Ralph Garman is, he's a radio show host from L.A.
Yeah, on the show K-Rock, Kevin and Bean.
Yeah. And he
does a lot of podcasts with Kevin Smith.
Yeah, he also has a podcast with Kevin Smith called
He's a Hoot.
Hollywood Babylon. And then the next song is called The Place You Love Is Gone, which is a good song, but it also wasn't one of my favorites on the album.
I like that song.
It's definitely good. But
I think it's kind of them. It's a grown-up song.
Yeah, as in your childhood places are gone and the places you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some aspect of the song that's talking about I don't know. There's a concert venue you went to growing up and then it got torn down or whatever.
Yeah.
But how I relate to the song is every time I go back to Pittsburgh, a lot of it doesn't feel like home or the place that I knew growing up. So that's what I think of when I hear that song.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The place that I love is gone because
it's different to you now.
Ohio Township, Ben Avon, the Aberworth community will never be the same for me because I've moved out of there and everyone's grown up. It's not the same.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like an outsider when I go back.
Even though I've only been moved out from Minnesota for half a year now.
Doesn't take long. Go back. Well, next time you go back, you going back for Christmas?
Probably not.
Bummer.
It depends on if I just don't think I'll be able to get off work.
Well, I hope you can. That'd be a bummer if you can.
Yeah, I hope I can as well. But I think my parents are coming down here soon, though.
Oh, good.
In October.
Okay, good.
But even when I went back for my cousin's wedding,
it gets weird.
Being back in the house that literally I was living at maybe 3 months ago. It was whoa, this is strange.
And I've been moved out for 2 years, and so it gets weirder and weirder the longer it goes on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I like driving back to Pittsburgh, and if I have my car back with me, then I can kind of drive around and see some places. It's weird visiting places that I grew up with.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Literally, it's been 2 years for me since I've been there, and it's just wow. The places really haven't changed. I've changed.
Oh yeah.
I've grown up a little bit. It's the same for me.
Well, just think about it. You grew up there. You haven't moved before, right?
No. Well, other than college, but I lived half an hour away from my house.
Yeah, but so for the better part of 22
years, we'll say 22, 23 years.
23 years.
Yeah.
That was home.
Oh yeah.
And then you moved. And it's so funny how it can change that much, though. Mm-hmm. Isn't that kind of crazy?
It was very crazy.
It's really weird. But anyway,
last song on the album?
On to my third recommendation.
It's the last one?
The last one, yeah.
Good choice.
Gratitude. This song is the bomb.
Yes, it is.
Like, it's so good. Crap, I forgot how the chorus goes now.
Everywhere I turn.
Yeah.
Whoa. I walk with all the love you gave to me.
Yeah. And except it's in Vinnie Caruana's voice, so it's like everywhere I turn.
This song rips. Like it's a heavy kicking song.
Yeah, like it's so good. I mean, and then it has like the really cool the
guitar line's really awesome,
line,
and they do they throw burp. They throw a random measure of 3/4 in there a couple times.
Yeah, definitely. Like it feels very awkward, but it's like it feels right at the same time.
Because I guess essentially, if you look at the big picture, there's like a measure of 8/4 and then a measure of 7/4 during the main line, which is 4/4/4/4 3/4/4/4.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it's really cool when you hear it, and it doesn't sound out of place, but you can tell that it's not standard.
Yeah. And then the breakdown where like it just kind of goes down to like just like drums, like a little bit.
Oh, that little drum solo, which is awesome to see live. Their drummer's the guy who actually produces all their albums.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he produced their first couple ones, but they recorded it in his studio, and he recorded it. He engineered and produced it.
And then at this part, after like the breakdown,
drum solo,
and then and then like he comes back and yelling,
grunt.
It's so great.
He actually does that in. Do you know the song Wolverines on their album Wolverine?
No, I don't.
I'll show you that later.
Okay.
He just does that, like it's a really cool song with his standard, like the bass drums kicking, bum 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 bum. He goes, trust me, it doesn't sound anything like what I just did. It's kind of like I can't do it. I can't scream.
I can't scream either.
You got to don't take our word for us. Listen to the two songs, Gratitude and Wolverines. And likewise on our previous podcasts, we're going to post links for both albums or playlists for both albums on YouTube below here, and stuff for you to kind of go further and listen to it yourselves, because both of these albums are worth checking out.
Yeah.
And,
but anyway, to end that album though, like that song seems like it's a perfect ending.
Oh, yeah.
Also to go along with the name Avalanche United. Because
they scream at the end, right?
Well, at the end they chant Avalanche United. Da, 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 da. But this, like, the point of that song is like the chorus. The words are everywhere I go. What is it?
I walk with all the strength you gave me.
I walk with all the strength you gave me, and then
something along those lines.
Something about all the love you've shown me, or something like that. And so it seems like it's like him talking to either his like parents or his friends or just people around him.
Yeah.
Who like he has gratitude towards because of everything that they've given him. And then like at the end when they're chanting, Avalanche United, it's like they're all like together as like a family, and it's like everywhere I go. Whoa. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about the album. It's just like this really kind of feel good, except for that one song, Dead Friends. But I mean, like,
no, I like Dead Friends. My least favorite song is I'll Be Back Around.
I can see why. Yeah.
It's not a terrible song. I just don't care for it as much.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's kind of my take on the album. It's just like a really fun album.
Oh yeah.
And like at the end it's just all about like the community of music and the community that was built up around them.
And their next album is definitely worth checking out too. It's called Wolverine or Wolverines. I can't remember if it's singular or plural. But that has my absolute favorite song by them, The Shape I'm In.
Oh, okay. So
that's the song that made me like them.
You mean their most recent album?
Yes, and that came out like
new.
No, it's not new. Their newest.
Since I was in college.
Yeah, that was 3-4 years ago.
I was back in college.
3 or 4 years ago it came out.
Or that's how my dad would say it. College. Back in college. Anyway.
Coolidge? Calvin Coolidge?
No, not Calvin Coolidge.
we have to end the podcast without finishing our beers?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, let's converse a little more so we can.
Oh yeah. Hey, back. Let's
come up with albums for next week.
No, we'll do it later.
Oh, also, I'm out of town. We won't be able to record. For all of you listening, we will not be able to record an album, a podcast next week. For all of you who are listening, which are probably my parents and 4 of my friends, we are not going to record a podcast next week. I will be out of town in Orlando, Florida. Me and my folks are going to Harry Potter World and Disney, and I am absolutely looking forward to it.
I'm just gonna try some butterbeer.
I'm gonna have butterbeer. I'm probably gonna buy a wand.
Get a chocolate frog.
I'll probably buy a chocolate frog. I'm gonna go to Ollivander's. I'm gonna go to Diagon Alley, or as they would say in the movie, diagonally.
You mean how Harry would say in the movie?
Oh, as Harry would say.
He's trying to use the Flu Network.
Did he say diagonally?
It's just the best, and that scene in the movie is just so dumb because who is it? Mrs. Weasley's like, all right, Harry, now pronounce Diagon Alley. Very well.
Diagonally.
And Harry's just like, diagonally. What?
Let me have a little sipski.
Oh, okay.
I haven't tried yours.
That scene is just so funny. But yeah, that should be fun. But for everybody, if people are listening though, for us it will have been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But for them, literally, it will not have been 2 weeks because it'll already be uploaded.
Well, yeah, we're gonna. No, it'll be. We'll see. Well, it'll be a week after. It'll be 2 weeks for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think of the albums now. Let's plan it.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
So that way, when they're listening to this, they can have an idea of what next podcast will be. Because we did that last podcast, remember?
Did we?
We did.
Oh yeah.
Did we? We did.
I've got an idea for you.
I've got one that you're kind of familiar with.
But I just don't know super well.
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm thinking Haas by Lagwagon.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that at all. Unless, well, I know who Lagwagon is.
Yeah,
and does it have one of the songs that I know on it?
You know, like Razorburn and a couple other big ones, but overall, I don't think you know it. It's one of their.
Did you say Haas?
Yes, HOSS.
HOSS. Okay.
There was a television show. What the heck was that show called? It was one of those shows that you see reruns on Nick at Night. I don't remember what the show was called. And there's a character named Haas. He was a cowboy or whatever.
Okay.
And he's on the cover.
Oh yeah. I know the cover.
So I will recommend Haas by Lagwagon.
Okay.
They're a skate punk band, and I adore them.
Yeah, they're super good. Let me see.
It's boozier than mine.
No, it doesn't.
No, it did.
No, it definitely does not taste boozier than that one.
Well, this is covered up by chocolate. We're talking about our beers again. I'm sorry. I just took a sip of Jesse's beer, and I swear his tastes boozier than mine.
No, yours is literally boozier than mine.
I didn't say it is boozier. I said it tastes boozier.
So I'm thinking of... So obviously I can't choose another Arcade Fire album right now.
Yeah, well, maybe down the road, because I know you like their album Suburbs, and I don't know any of it.
Oh, The Suburbs is prime. Is one of my favorite albums.
You could technically recommend a Vampire Weekend. Their second.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because our first podcast in which I reviewed Vampire Weekend got deleted.
Self-titled album, yeah.
They're self-titled, yeah. I mean, you could pick whatever you want.
Well, I do want to do something different. I do.
Hey, you decide. You hold the power.
See, because what I'm leaning towards now is the Decemberists album, The Hazards of Love. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? No, I'll save that for another time. How about just Shins, Shoots Too Narrow.
Shoots Too Narrow. Okay.
Yeah, the Shins, Shoots Too Narrow. I believe that's what it's called.
I've heard of the band The Shins, and I'm sure I've heard at least one or two of their songs, but that album does not sound familiar, and I could not tell you a single song that they sing.
Really?
I do not know any songs by The Shins.
What about the album Port of Morrow, which is their most recent? Well, actually, which is their last album because they're not a band anymore.
I have no idea. In fact, I didn't even know that they weren't a band anymore.
James Mercer. He as far as like melodies go, James Mercer writes phenomenal melodies.
It can't be the best though because
well, there's Tony Sly, of course.
Well, I'd say the best melodies are if we go combination writers, Lennon McCartney.
Oh yeah,
absolute first. Second is Hop is DeLong, Blink-182.
think you're a little bit biased there.
I am 100% biased. I think Blink-182 is the greatest creation in front of sliced bread.
Oh my gosh.
If I had to slice bread for the rest of my life, I would be more happy than if I never listened to Blink-182 again, if that makes any sense to you.
That makes sense
to
me.
I'd rather slice bread
So what
than
you're
not
saying
listen to
is
them.
you would rather, if two, let's go with Steins Gate here. If there were two world lines,
Yeah.
one reality being contained on world line A and the other on B.
So
You would rather have the world line that contains Blink-182 and does not contain sliced bread
Oh, yes.
than the one that contains sliced bread and no Blink-182.
Yes, brief back history for me. When I was learning guitar, my second guitar teacher taught me rock and roll. AC/DC was a song that got me off of like pop music pretty much. But whenever I got the album Enema of the State by Blink-182, that's what made me fall in love with punk.
Yeah.
And people will say, Blink-182's not punk. Who cares? Come on now.
Come on now.
That was an album I could sit down and the album's like a half hour long. I could sit on my computer, play the album, and play along with it. Barely knowing anything, which doesn't say much for their guitar skills, but but that's the album that's like, wait a second, maybe I can do this. That was the album that did that for me. Like
Yeah.
AC/DC is the music that made me think rock and roll is awesome. Blink-182 Enema of the State is the album that made me think I can do this.
Yeah. That's for me. That's when I learned. "Tangled Up in Blue" by Bob Dylan. Well, that's just when I was learning guitar, though,
Fair enough.
and I was like, I like this song. This is a very simple chord progression.
Bob Dylan. He is so good.
Oh, Robert Zimmerman.
Oh, let's not get technical now.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan's real name is Robert Zimmerman.
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 Robert Cinnamon.
Robert Cinnamon Stick. Robert Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And for all of you who don't know,
man.
Wendell is the guy on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch box. Did you know that?
His name is Wendell.
Do you know the guy on the box? Like the guy, he looks like
he looks
baker?
He looks like the KFC guy, except with a baker's hat on.
His name is Wendell. I knew that because in elementary school, me and my buddy Jake, we got, I think it was a limited time offer. They made peanut butter toast crunch. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes.
Yes.
What about French? What about the
French toast crunch is different.
Different.
Not related.
Is it General Mills or Kellogg's?
I don't remember. But back onto it, they made peanut butter toast crunch.
I don't remember it.
It was the Cinnamon Toast Crunch peanut butter version.
It tastes.
It was good.
You
But
can
on the back of
taste.
the number, it said, like, on the back of the box, it gave you a phone number and said, call into here to tell Wendell how much you love it. So me and Jake called in.
Call Wendell.
We called him, and he had it on speakerphone, and he's holding he had a cell phone at the time because he got one earlier than I did.
Ooh.
He got one
Flip
when he was
phone?
like.
Was it the Razor?
These are this is before Razor. He was more like brick.
Like brick.
Yeah, he had a brick. He had one
brick.
like when he was 11 or 12 or something.
Wow, that's crazy.
I didn't get one until I was like 16, maybe 15, 16. But he had the brick phone, and he had, and like this lady answers, she's like, "Hello, General Mills." If it was General
Yeah,
Mills, and he's
I
like, "Yes, I'd like to tell Wendell how much I love the peanut butter toast crunch or peanut butter toast, whatever it is."
Yeah.
And it was just goofy.
That's hilarious.
But his name's Wendell. I don't know how we started talking about Wendell. It's so unrelated.
it was Robert Zimmerman.
Yes.
Robert Cinnamon.
Robert Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Stick.
Yes.
Robert Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That is our
Robert
train of
Cinnamon
thought for
Toast
you.
Crunch.
That is our train of thought.
Anyway.
Well, we've only got a few minutes left here, so before we wrap it up, we're gonna finish our beers. But before we even get there, once again, the albums we're gonna listen to next week. Jesse's gonna listen to Hoss by Lagwagon,
And Steve is going to listen to Shoots Too Narrow by The Shins.
and we are gonna drink beers as of yet to be determined.
So this has been another edition of Brews and Tunes.
And you know what we say before we finish our beers, right?
Shibbity-bop-bow! I shouldn't have taken that in one sip.
Well, yeah, yours was about 2 sips worth, but mine was 1 sip.
That was so good, though.
Oh, mine was delicious. I literally feel like I ate a tray of brownies.
I feel like I just drank a beer. I don't know.
You did drink a beer, but I'm saying this tastes like a tray of brownies.
Oh yeah, yours literally did taste like a tray of brownies.
This is Stephen Johnston signing off.